I want to talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of the board and train. So the first thing is, in a board and train model, you take your dog, you drop your dog off, and then some other people take over. And so it's kind of easy for you in that way. Um, I think the pro of that training model is that it's like a doggy boot camp, right? You're dropped off at basic training, and there's a drill instructor that's in your face with a knife hand telling you what you're going to do from 0600 or 6 a.m. until lights out every night. And so for some dogs, it can be appropriate. Um, it's kind of a hardcore model of training when you think about it. A lot of dogs are shelters, or they're rescues from the shelters. And you drop your dog off and then you just leave them there, right? This is a sentient, social, emotional, pack driven animal. It's made a connection to you. Hopefully, you've made a connection to it, and then you just leave it. You leave that dog with some strangers, and the dog doesn't understand what the hell's going on. And then you go home, and then the dog is trained by someone else in a different place with a bunch of other animals around. And hopefully, they do their job and they do it well and they train your dog well. Who knows? They could immediately just slap the electronic collar on the dog, and a lot of people do. And I'm not averse to using an electronic collar at times. That's not the concern. The concern is that each and all and every single behavior of your dog is trained with an electronic collar right from the start. It's compulsion, it's aversion. I'm going to put pressure on you with this electronic device, and you're going to do what I'm going to say without establishing the relationship, trust, right? Play and developing that thing. And you don't really know what's happening with your dog all the time while it's there in this board and train facility. Or 6 or 8 weeks later, maybe more, you come back to pick up your dog. And your dog is once again totally confused. Like, I've been here for 4 or 6 or 8 weeks, and now all of a sudden you're back. So, like, happy to see you, but what's going on? What's going on is we're going home. And then the board and train facility is going to tell you your dog knows this, your dog knows that, act and behave in this way and all that stuff. And that's great and wonderful, except your dog didn't learn any of those new behaviors, any of those new obedience commands or whatever in your presence. And that's incredibly important, right? So now your dog is back in your home and you're requesting, commanding, telling your dog to do certain things, but they didn't learn any of those behaviors or obedience commands with you. They didn't learn any of those things in your home. That's very relative. They learned those behaviors somewhere else with someone else. So that process is called generalization. The dog has to understand that whatever it's commanded or told to do, the dog must do in all situations and in all locations. So it's odd, it's difficult, it's challenging for the dog to understand what I learned there with those people is also expected of me here in this home with you or with these people. So once again, the board and train model could be a good fit for you. It's convenient in that when your hands are up and your head is down and you're just like, I don't know what to do with this dog, you can take them to a board and train facility and they can start establishing some control. Guys, you'll have to forgive me a little bit during this video. I've got an Australian Shepherd puppy that is about 6 months old, and she is beautiful, but she's thrashing a tug toy that I have on the floor, and so she may bump the tripod or make a lot of click-clack noises with her nails or whatever. So it's generally distracting, but I love having her here with me. This puppy is driving me nuts. Oh! looking at her right now. You're driving me nuts. Come here. Come up here and see me. Come here. Come on. Come here and see your daddy. Hello. Say hello. And so what happens is you come back for your dog 4 or 6 or 8 weeks later. Hey, Fiji. Oh.